morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the daily support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Tuesday the 18th of August. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, relatively bullish start to the morning after yesterday's late pullback. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 12,166 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 12,616. We'll need a broad-based crypto rally, however, for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high 12,485.5 and resistance at 12,500. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, that first major resistance level will cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 12,936. That will also test resistance at 13,000 before any pullback. A fall through the pivot, got the first major support level sitting at 11,847. Barring an extended sell-off, Bitcoin should avoid sub 11,700 levels. Second major support level sits at 11,397. Looking at the MACD, got a sharp narrowing of the bullish histograms following yesterday's pullback, suggestive of a possible bearish crossover here. But when we're looking at the 50 EMA, we're seeing that widen against the 100 and the 200. So key through the morning would be to avoid that pivot level and sub 12s. A move through 12,500 levels should support a breakout from that first major resistance level. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, slightly bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see EOS avoid a fall through the pivot at 3.7854 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 3.9174. Going to need to see support from the broader market for EOS to break back through to 3.9 levels, however. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 3.6473 into play. Should see EOS avoid sub 3.6 and the second major support level sitting at 3.5153. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a widening of the bearish histograms, suggestive of a pullback, and we're seeing the 50 EMA flatten and begin to narrow against the 100 and 200. So key through the morning will be to avoid fall through the pivot to sub 3.7 to support a recovery of yesterday's loss. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, slightly bullish start to the morning following a late pullback yesterday that left Ethereum in the red. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 433.17. It's hovering on the pivot at the moment to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 445.83. Support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 440 levels. Barring an extended crypto rally, that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 447.5 should pin Ethereum back from 450 levels. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 460 that would come into play. Failure to move back through and hold above that pivot would support a fall back through sub 420s to bring the first major support level at 418.83 into play. Barring an extended sell-off, Ethereum should avoid sub 410s and the second major support level today at 406.17. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bearish crossover there, so that's pointing to a possible reversal through the morning following yesterday's late pullback. We're also seeing the 50 EMA narrow against the 100 and the 200. So key through the morning will be the pivot level. Failure to hold above that will bring sub 420s into play and another leg down. Finally, moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar. Bullish start to the morning after yesterday's rally. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 0.3142 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 0.3289. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high that was at 32,757. So barring another extended rally, that first major resistance level should cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ripple's XRP target 0.34 levels. We've got the second major resistance level sitting at 0.3423. Failure to hold above that pivot would bring the 23.6% fib at 31.34 and the first major support level sitting at 0.3008 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 3s and the second major support level sitting at 0.2860. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing that bearish crossover there after yesterday's late reversal. 50 EMA is holding its ground against the 100 and 200, however, supportive of this morning's bullish start. So key through the early part of the day will be to avoid a pullback through to sub 3.15 levels and that pivot level at 3.3142. So a break back through yesterday's high should support a run through that first major resistance level to then target 0.34 level.